Dibs, have you seen? Cubs still undefeated, baby.
Cubsters are playing great baseball. I was just watching some video, though, of Bregman and Devers sharing third base, taking some ground balls, sharing notes, and everybody's like, listen, first of all, they're both getting paid. And I know that Devers came out the other day and was like, I play third base. He doesn't want to move.
What? I thought he was open to do whatever.
Oh, no, he's not moving, and he's not DHing either. You didn't hear that the other day?
Dude, I told y'all.
No,
I knew this.
Right into the camera, he's like, I'm a baseball player getting paid to play third base.
Well, listen,
that's it.
He put a lot of work into playing third base. He was getting knocked when he showed up in Boston because, like, his bat's great, but he's horrible at the corner. Now he's a decent third baseman, and he's getting better by the day.
When you say decent. The numbers don't back that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I used decent. I didn't say good. That's why I used that word.
But here's the thing. When the guy you're standing next to, since 2017, has 72 errors, and you have 171, it's kind of hard team-wise to say, I'm the better third baseman, because you're not. The statistics don't back you up. I understand you're younger, and you want to play that position, but at the same time, is that the best thing for you? Like, I'll give you an example. A-Rod was the better shortstop, but out of respect, and as much as I hate A-Rod, this was one of the best things he ever did as a player was move to third. Because he
went to the Yankees.
Fantastic third baseman. He did like Cal Ripken. Yep. He was amazing over there. And Jeter got to stay at short, goes to the Hall of Fame as a shortstop. So that being said, it's up to really Devers to feel the need as the team leader to say, listen, I'll go to first. Now, Casas would be the odd man out here because obviously.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. Somebody's going to have to pay the price.
Yeah.
But if Bregman's cool with playing second base, which I think he is, because whether or not he's playing third or second, he's still going to be better than the another option that doesn't hit as well as you. I think in the end they'll work it out. But don't be so standoffish and stubborn when you're facing the media and being like, I'm the third baseman. Listen, hey, you know what? They played side-by-side clips of Aaron Judge, who's going to move from center field to right or left. And Aaron Judge is like, I'll hit first, I'll hit ninth, I'll do whatever the team needs me to do. He was, and for a guy that's making the money that he's making, basically, he couldn't have been more forthcoming in his comments. And so you've got one star that is in Boston and one that's in New York, and Judge is like, listen, you want to hit me 1 or 9, I don't care. You want to play me wherever, I'll play. That's what Jazz Chisholm did last year that I thought was a very endearing thing to say.
Wow. You know how I hate nerd stuff, especially in sports, but man, this one's kind of perfect for this conversation. So the internet's already figured this out statistically for everyone. WAR-wise, wins above replacement, what your ability to affect a win or a loss basically is this stat. Rafael Devers playing at third is actually 2 notches less than his WAR would be if he just DH'd because of some of the errors that he has on the defensive end that could cost you the actual ball game. I would like to think, though, and get out of science class and get into the sports philosophy, psychiatry of things, and I think of Joey Votto, and when I brought this up when we were talking about this about a week ago, that like maybe Devers needs to be in the flow. Maybe Devers is bad.
I'm not saying him come off the field, but like I said with Pete Rose or even Johnny Bench, who went from catcher to third, there's so many guys that have got. Gary Sheffield started his career at short. He went out to center field. Robin Yount went to the Hall of Fame. Went from shortstop and went to center field. Dale Murphy went from Gold Glove, MVP catcher to center field. It's more about as you age, you're probably going to have to move positions. And this isn't a slight on Devers as much as it is, hey, we could put you somewhere and we can put, like, even Altuve, as much as I can't stand that guy,
right.
he's gonna try and play left field because he knows there's a better second baseman coming up, younger, more spry, better glove than me. I'll move to the outfield because I know I can still hit. But that defensively, we have to be strong at first. Catcher, short, second, center field, and that's the same thing with Bellinger coming to the Yankees. Bellinger's a better center fielder than Aaron Judge, and so they're basically like, listen, Aaron, you're the star, you're the captain. Would you move, instead of Bellinger having to move positions, and everybody's happy.
Red Sox win 6-5 today. They beat the Detroit Tigers. Look like the Mets, I think, got a win as well. Everybody's playing a lot of baseball right now, getting work in. Like you brought up the home runs the other day. Everybody's mashing. Some of these scores are out of control, like double figures at a lot of places. Mets blanked the Astros today. It was one of the early games of this afternoon as a 5-0 final. Playing a lot of their main guys, too, in that game. They basically had their, I would say, A-team lineup that was starting minus a couple of those big ones like Alonso and Soto. But I don't know. I think a lot of our area teams are doing some really good moves here to be contenders in the early part of spring training.
Arenado says the 3-hour drive that he made in the bus was not a showcase against the Yankees.
Oh, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
He went 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. You don't need a showcase. He's a Hall of Fame third baseman. This reminds me of Scott Rowland when he went to the Reds.
You're saying this isn't like a denial that he wants to be a Yankee?
I think Arenado's a leader, and he doesn't mind sitting on the bus for 3 hours. He's not a diva. And I think people are reading more into this than he would say. But I also think he probably talked to some of the Yankee guys and, said, hey, what if I do waive my no trade to go to the Yankees? What do you think? So, yeah, I mean, that's what players do. They talk to each other. So I don't think as much as it is the Cardinals showcasing Arenado, is Arenado testing the waters over there and being like, listen, these guys are desperately trying to trade me. It didn't work in the offseason. Now we're already in spring training. Honestly, I think that would be a great destination for Arenado because he'd have a chance to win and go to the postseason this year.
I just looked at the video of Harper getting hit in the head. Have you seen this
It's
yet?
bad.
He walks it off.
He walks it off. His manager said that he's okay. Dude,
he says he's
baseball,
okay.
Man.
I'm starting to really
I just think the pitcher doesn't like his new tattoo of the fanatic. I think it's not a good one.
Tell people how scary this is in spring training for these guys because there's a lot of arms out there that are live. There's a lot of guys out there that are amped up more than possible, and there's lot of. Because we've seen Alonso was on the field. He was looking around, and somebody threw it to first.
That was a communications breakdown.
We've seen a couple of guys liners back to the pitchers. We hate that, but we have seen some balls get away from some pitchers here in spring training.
I think Chris Bryant on a backfield just got drilled. Yeah. They had video of that. So he was just getting some extra hits on live pitchers. And no, listen, the young guys, like I can tell you my first spring training in Major League camp, I hit Nick Esaski and put him out for 2 weeks.
Great. Where'd you hit? How'd this go?
Hit him right in the shoulder. Oh, no. I got sent down the next week back to the minor leagues. After about 2 years in the major leagues, Angel Salazar was in spring training with us, and one of my things that I used to always do, I never pitched with a screen in front of me. I hated it, and then a lot of other guys, I'm not saying I started this with the Reds or anybody.
And this is spring training.
This is spring training, but I'm like, listen, right. It was batting practice. It was batting practice, but against my own guys.
Right.
And I hit Angel Salazar and broke his elbow, and he was released the next day. But I was dropping down, and I told him, I said, the ball's going to run in on you. Do you want to stand in there, or do you want me to just throw the pitch and you're not in there? And he's like, oh, no, I'll get in there. And I hit him. And it was accidental. So, like you said, guys like me are amped up every time they step on the mound, whether it's spring training, whether it's just some session in like a sports mall. I just saw a picture of me taking batting practice in Cincinnati Sports Mall in 1990 during the lockout. That's just the way I am. I'm intense all the time when I'm playing. So, in spring training, I mean, I was doing double play drills. I spun around and threw it as hard as I could to Ron Oster. He aired me out in front of everybody. Dude, it's spring training. You don't need to kill us to get the point across. You got a great arm. I got the message. Stop being a dipstick and don't hurt your own guys. So, yeah, these guys, whether they're pitching to their own guys or pitching them. So, from that point on, when I hit Angel, when I faced my own guys, I would be like, fastball's coming, and I would lay it in there for them to crush. I gave up a lot of BP home runs to my guys, and I got it in my brain, you know what, if they think they're hitting off the Rob Dibble that's throwing 100, even though I'm throwing like 95 or 92, that's better than me injuring one of my guys. And that's how I approached it after that. Then I became a spaz when I played in the actual games in spring training. So many guys like me that are spastic mentally when they get into spring training. It doesn't matter. Bryce Harper's up there. I'm going to be even more spastic because I'm trying to impress somebody. That's a dangerous situation for those hitters because they're not thinking, hey, this a-hole might drill me. They're thinking, I'm getting my work in. I'm getting my 2 at-bats or 3 at-bats today, and then I'm going to go in a backfield and swing some more. That's the danger of spring training. That's like football. That's like how many torn ACLs do you get from a non-contact drill?
Right.
Because you're doing the drill at full speed, and people be like, "Oh my God, nobody even touched it." It doesn't matter. It's human. It's your body, and sometimes that whether you're getting drilled or whether you're hitting a line shot off of Bobby Miller's forehead, what did they catch that at? To 110 miles an hour, I think it hit him in the head.
Yeah.
It's still dangerous. And there's some moments that are more dangerous than others.
Richard Lovelady, he is now on the Toronto Blue Jays. He is the one that caught Bryce right at the
What
brim.
level did he played last year?
He's been up. He's been up a bunch. He's 29 years old, so he's got experience. Is wearing a high number right now, but
exactly. So he's trying to make the team.
He's trying to make a team.
He's trying to make.
Yeah.
There's two things you're doing. You're trying to impress somebody, and you're also, amped up because this guy's a hell of a player.
It wasn't like he didn't have a big oh my gosh reaction either. He just kind of slow walks back to his catcher at home plate. But Bryce is fine. I think because Bryce gets up.
Nobody ever wants to hit somebody in the head.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. But listen, at the same time, like Norm Charlton, my best friend would say, "Don't stand in there." Then
so true. Don't be on the tracks when the train's coming through, butthead.
There you go. There you go.
Your Reds are losing right now to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Watch out. I know the Yankees are on. I think no, they already went in. They had a tie ball game. What? Ties? Huh?
Yeah, but you only have enough pitchers slotted to pitch. Very few teams do what they used to do with me when I was a jick. That's just in case.
Yeah.
And you'd go on a trip just in case you'd get an inning or two in an extra inning game. And I did actually get in a few games like that. So, but not many teams anymore because they're like so scripted. John Doe is going to throw on this day, and this day. They're not going to have a jick guy unless it's a high-numbered minor league guy be an extra guy to keep these games going in spring training.
Right.
They really treat these games like exhibition now, way worse than when I played.
Well, let me make the Baltimore Oriole fan a little nervous. Gunnar Henderson exiting because of discomfort.
Hemorrhoids or hamstring?
I don't know exactly. He will need an MRI. He does not need an MRI. Sorry, he does not need an MRI. You're going to sit him down for a little bit. Should be okay.
Exits game as a precaution.
I just hate seeing that, man, with a guy that's awesome youngster in this game.
I think the biggest news of spring training right now is tomorrow night, Shohei will make his debut as a pitcher.
Against the Angels.
As a pitcher.
His old team.
Yep.
I'm excited for this as well.
You can't tell me that's not all set up, though.
Yeah, but you can't tell me you don't want to watch that.
Oh, I will watch it.
I won't watch that.
No, I will watch it.
Is that an early one? Is that a late one?
No, it's a game. It's a night game.
Prime time, I bet.
Yep.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a scheduled night game against his former team. I mean, he's going to throw 2 or 3 innings. Tops.
What do you think he's going to clip at? Think he's going to hit 100?
I think he's going to hit 100, but he's going to throw 50 or less pitches.
Yeah, easily. I think maybe even 30 or less.
Who was it the other day that threw an inning and 2/3? And I just think it's embarrassing that you do that as a $30 million a year guy, and you're going to pitch 5 outs. And then somebody's got to slow walk you off the field. Come on, man. Just get one more hitter. Think of it as I'll lay up a pitch in there, get a ground ball, get out of the inning, and get my work in. But this is where the game is now, where it's
Look at me.
hardcore. This is the deadline, right?
Look at me.
But I mean, it's too much precaution. And I'm not saying Gunnar Henderson.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If this guy tweaked the leg running to first, boom, you're out of that game.
Right.
You're not getting hurt in spring training. But if you're at 49 pitches and another guy's coming up and you go to 55 pitches, I could argue that you could have thrown 5 extra pitches in your warm-up than you should have. You're throwing 5 extra pitches in between innings to go out there and pitch in that game. They're just one or two more pitches is not going to put you on the injured list.
Have you seen Shohei throw?
I have. I saw him throw last year. He could have pitched in the postseason.
Or have you seen him throw in the last couple of weeks?
He's throwing gas. He's
awesome.
throwing BBs. But I honestly, I did think I knew we were going to talk this today, and I thought about this. Here's the thing, though. Shohei, 50-50 guy, does that have more value than Shohei, the freak pitcher / everyday player? Do we need him? You got 10 guys that can start for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, to the point where you could get rid of, Walker Buehler. Do you need Shohei that much to where if he blows out in June or July and needs to do Tommy John again, would have been safer to him just DH for you and get you to the World Series and get another ring?
Somewhat of the conversation we were having during the break with Travis Hunter playing receiver and cornerback, like where's your value really set? And I think with both of those kind of guys, I think this with Bo Jackson, Brian Jordan, all these guys that played multiple sports and want to play
Deion Sanders,
everything, that they're just such gamers, man, that they want to win the game and they want to do it all. I mean, they feel like they're better than everything, all the other options, and I'm ready to go and I want to do it. Why can't I? And like to hold me back makes me mad. In my mind,
if Bo Jackson's not playing in the NFL, he's a Hall of Fame baseball player.
I know, yeah, I know, but
easily
in Bo's mind, he's bored with that life.
I know
it's not fun for him.
I'll always see that guy from the Bengals tackling him and pulling his hip.
Well, we'll probably have this conversation around June, I would say.
Listen, I'm all there for it. To me, I think it's something that may never be done again.
Right.
At that level. That guy that could win a Cy Young and be 50-50, there's not another dude coming down the road like that. So enjoy it while it is, but he still has blown that elbow out twice in 5 years. And that just it also illustrates how difficult baseball is to play. I think, trying to have bells and whistles and have all these cool things for the fans, it still doesn't diminish the injuries to all these pitchers we still have, and the pitch clock is still, I don't know if it's causing injuries or saving injuries, but because there's no definitive data on that kind of stuff, but it's still, the game is the game. Football is still football. Baseball is still baseball. You're always going to have injuries, and football's so damn violent. These guys are getting better and better and better. To me, it's like, yeah, you can protect them, but you really can't. Guys are still going to get these ridiculous concussions. Baseball players that get hit in the head are still going to get concussions. Bobby Miller went into concussion protocol. So there's still inherent danger. Even guys in basketball hit their head on the floor, they get in concussion protocol. There's still always going to be inherent danger in all of these sports.
But you want to minimize that as much as possible, especially on the other side of things. When you have 680 million waiting for the end of the rainbow, you want that 10-year process to be maxed.
And that's a great point. Do you want the max offensive player?
Right.
Or do you need him to start every fifth day?
Or do I get 2 years of Shohei? And then I'm eating 680 million for nothing after that. It's going to be a topic of conversation all summer.
Can't wait. They are selling it. I can guarantee you right now that Shohei starts one of those Japanese games.
You better believe it, baby.
When Guggenheim is putting on that production. Believe it.
And we're going to get Roki out there. And we're going to get Yamamoto out there.
There you go. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. And Bob Joyce joined us in studio a little while ago. We talked some Diana Taurasi. We talked some UConn women. They take on Creighton. Pregame starts right here on 97.9 Fox Sports Radio at 6:30. We'll be right back.